everybody. Welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest just won his Classic Physique debut at the Pittsburgh Pro. He's already been a, four-time 212 champion. So this is quite a transition from being a champion in one division right into another division. This is Alex Cambronero and his wife Maggie joining us from Miami, I believe? Miami. How are you? Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that you have us on, with you on muscular development. Super happy. And yeah, Maggie and I have been working for a long time, and we always come up with good results out of hard work.
Hey, I like to see the hair. You were shaving your head for many years, so I'm glad to see you, because I didn't know if you could grow hair. A lot of guys, they're bald because they have no choice.
Probably since 2003.
Okay. No,
Actually, no. I have more than 20 years without hair.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, well, this looks good. Keep the hair.
Jordan told us that hair was cool.
Yeah.
No hair was cool. So I started cutting my hair and stuff.
I mean, it looked good on you. Not everyone's got the head to do that, but you looked fine. I gotta clear up your name, because I always thought your name was Alejandro or Alex, but I see that your Instagram is Fello, Fello _ Cambronero, and that's your Facebook too, is Fello Cambronero IFBB Pro. So are you going by Fello now?
No, I use Fello because that's how people call me in my country, in school, and even my mom. They just call me Fello. And my sister called me when she was a little one, and since that they started using Fello, and to the people be able to know what exactly Cambronero is. Yeah. So Fello Cambronero, you can just say, okay, this is Alex or Alejandro, and they recognize my fellow.
I'll tell you, Ron. Costa Rica is like the capital of the world for nicknames. So they never call you by your name. So that's what he's trying to say. His sister came up with Fello, which is kind of an abbreviation of a middle name, and then it just became Fello, and it's actually Fello, and they call him Fello. So if he would have put Alejandro in his profile, Costa Rica probably wouldn't have even recognized him.
Because I've heard a lot of nicknames. My wife's family, they're all Cuban. Everyone's got a nickname in that family too.
Yeah, it's a Latin thing.
Pepe or Piki or something, but Fello is a new one. I thought Fello was like F-E-O, like ugly. I'm like, why would he want that for a nickname? That's a terrible nickname.
It's even closer to Bello, which is beautiful.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Because you just change one letter, then it becomes Bello.
Okay. So, Alex, I've known you a long time on and off. Maggie reminded me not even a year ago that I met you guys back in 2005 at that Ronnie Coleman weekend. I had no idea, that Alex and Maggie Cambronero that I see now. I didn't make the connection that was, because you guys were so young. That was, geez.
Yeah.
That was almost 15 years ago now.
2003.
2005.
2005.
Yeah. 3 is when we got married. 5 is the first time.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys were kids back then. I just remember how I thought this was adorable. A young husband and wife out here on the Ronnie Coleman weekend training and doing all that stuff together. I thought it was really cool. But wow.
Many years now we've known you, but like you said, on and off, seeing you at events and stuff, it's been great.
So it's time to finally learn a lot more about you, Alex, or Alejandro, or Fello, whatever you want. So tell me, you were born and raised in Costa Rica. What was your early life like? What kind of kid were you? What were you interested in?
Well, I born in the Caribbean, the Costa Rica Caribbean, which is Limon. My mom moved us to the capital, San Jose, when I was like 9, something like that. Yeah. I was a very active kid. My mom is a single mom with 4 kids, and she was like a general. So discipline was like not even, discipline and everything. I know discipline since my early days in food, So I was a kid like that, very active. She involved me in everything, karate, taekwondo, swimming, fighting, motocross, everything. Even my family went complaining, you're gonna get crazy, that kid. But it was fun. So when we moved to the capital, I was dreaming about, bicycles and motocross, and so I get into BMX, right? And my mom, again, is a single mom, and this is a sport that, imagine that lady taking you to the tracks and and fixing your bike and things like that. And I was a 9-year-old. So one day I decided to race a competition, and I was a cute kid. I know I can use that little cue and cry and get stuff.
Yeah.
So I told all my friends, let's go to the track, and it was far. Yeah. Nobody's gonna get permission to do it, right? So I didn't ask for permission. I left. Everybody staying home.
Boy.
And it was far, man. And I get to the track, and I looking around, see the people more nicest and like more economically can help me.
Yeah. And
I started crying. Oh, what happened to you? Oh, I want to race, but I can't. Why? I don't have money. Oh, but what is your parents? They're not here. Where are you from? You ask. It's really far. Oh, you're crazy. You're gonna call your parents or whatever. Well, the lady ended up giving me, the sponsorship to race that track. Wow. Look, I have to back up that, right?
Yeah.
I never lose a race since I was a kid. I mean,
you never lost a race.
Like 2-3 times when I fall.
Wow.
But I was like champions, and I was like 9-year-old to like 19.
So you started off on BMX, a regular bicycle. When did you start the motocross?
About 16.
Wow.
I started racing on 125 cc's.
Yep.
And then it was even harder because economically it was really hard for us, And I was I become really good on it, but going to the races started getting really hard for me, So I started doing all this other stuff and training actually. So I fell in love with training, not the real bodybuilding, just training, lifting, And then when you get into that, what happens, you start looking like, what the?
What made you start training though? How did you even start training in the first place?
Well, my friends started going to the gym because we get into an age that, okay, you need more muscle or something. You got to look better, right? So I was a little bit not interesting in. I was playing basketball and things like that, right?
Yeah.
But I started working and doing things with my friends, going to events as a bouncer, stuff like that. I was a skinny kid that have a background of fighting, so no, you need to look bigger. So we went one day to the gym and started just working out. Things that you started reading and stuff like that. But one day, Ron, I got a Ronnie Coleman front page, man. I mean, this is, and when we went to the camp, I'm not impressed with anybody, but since
right.
and I'm not trying to offend anybody. Right. I mean, because if you met Ronnie at that time, you won't offend anybody.
Right.
You won't. I mean, so I saw the picture and I'm like, bro. Yeah. I mean, this is what I like, And it's like, if I can get that, just like 20%, I'm gonna be a little fucking. So I started working and I looking for that. And then when we went to the camp with Ronnie and all the stuff, and I met Alex Coleman, which is Ronnie's brother.
His brother, yeah.
Yeah. So we have a conversation, and Alex came to Miami, stay here in my home, and we have a time. And he looked at me without a shirt. He was like, "What are you doing? Not competing?" It's like, no, I'm not interested. No, you can't compete. But I don't feel like. So she started putting me in that, helped me with her friends in Texas to coaching me. And I went to the Ronnie Coleman show, thinking that I was, really good.
That was your first contest?
Thinking he was big.
Your first contest was the Ronnie Coleman Classic that he puts on?
That was his first show.
Oh, wow.
First show.
Wow. How'd that go?
We did the camp.
Yeah.
Alex suggested, hey, he had come here with his wife for a vacation, and he said, hey, you have potential. You can get on stage. We worked on it as best as we could without knowing much. And yeah, he got on stage at that. I believe it was 2011 or no. What year was it? It was one of the first few Ronnie Colemans that in Texas, and he competed as a middleweight.
Wow. What'd you weigh back in at the Ronnie Coleman thing when I saw you? What do you think you weighed back then, Alex?
I was like 134 pounds.
Wow. I mean, that's why I don't remember you. You didn't look like this. I don't. How could I recognize this guy from that guy? So,
yeah. And I placed 24 out of 38 guys.
Well, I've done worse, but yeah. I mean, your contest record. I go to a website called MuscleMemory.com. Great website. And the first show it shows for you, because it's never. They miss a lot of the smaller shows and the early shows. But the first show that they have you on record as is 2011 NPC Nationals, where you made top 10 in the light heavies. So you were well on your way by that point to, you were pro a couple of years after that. But,
well, what we actually did is he did that Ronnie Coleman Classic, and after coming in nearly last, he was coming from that athletic background and the discipline he has. He said, there's no way that I could just let this be my mark. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go ahead and come back and work harder, and I'm going to come back next year, and I have to win the show. I have to, set, and we did that. We went back.
Wow.
He actually came second to Corey Matthews. I don't know if you remember Corey.
Oh, Corey is freaking great. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Corey competed with him in the light heavies. At that point, we became light heavies.
Yep.
And after that, he took an overall at I think it was a local show here, the Diana Cadeau Classic.
Yep.
And then that's when he went to the nationals, and his first one he was in the top 10.
Yeah. Wow.
But that show, it was the light heavyweight was the hardest, right? And I tell you that because first of all, Corey won the overall.
Yep.
But the top 5, this is incredible. The top 5 is either top 5 Corey, myself, Lorenzo Jones,
yep.
right? Tank.
Lindsay Moore. I think it's Lindsay Moore. They call him the Tank.
Oh, I thought you meant Tank Charles Dixon.
No, that Dixie. He's from Texas actually, and another guy I don't remember. But the top 5 got pro.
Yeah, well, everyone in the top 5 ended up being a pro.
Everybody won a national show.
Yeah.
It was that nice, that lineup. I had even the Muscular Development had the videos. I think
so.
Because they were the sponsor. All the background is Muscular Development. Super nice. Yeah. I still have
For people that don't know, the light heavies is usually the toughest class because most bodybuilders are between 5'5" and 5'9", and they weigh in contest condition usually between 185 and 200 pounds. So it's a huge class. You get guys with smaller joints, nice, pretty shape. Once you get into the heavies and super heavies, sometimes they're not that pretty looking.
Exactly.
So light heavies, we've had especially in the old days, light heavies usually won the overall, like Sean Ray. Porter Cottrell. You could go back. There was a ton of light heavies used to always win nationals in USA, the overall, because they were just awesome. Let's talk about the love story. How did you guys meet?
We met on South Beach, actually, here in Miami back in 2003.
Uh-huh.
I'm originally from Cuba, so my parents, I think just like your lovely wife, right?
Yeah, well, she was born. Her mom came here from Cuba, pregnant with her, so she was born here.
Okay. So I came from Cuba very young, and my parents migrated over here, and we settled down, and I was 23 years old when I met Alex, and we've been together going on 17 years. Wow. So we met, we got married 2 months into our relationship. We've done it consistently. So it can happen.
Yeah.
And it's been great. He's the love of my life.
Tell me, Alex, first time you saw her, what were you thinking? Ay, Dios mío.
Always try not to even meet somebody so you can be free and going everywhere, right? But No, that day it was just, we were met and stayed talking all day, and then that everything happens like that, nothing planning or anything like that. It wasn't even crazy like that. It was crazy after all, after that moment when we started thinking about what next. So everything got crazy, but it was, just natural.
Yeah, you were already into lifting and training and everything already at that point, pretty seriously, right, Alex?
I was working out, yes, but not competing or anything, just working out. I was trying to get, big. And I was in the moment that you see yourself in the mirror and you have a stretch mark and you're happy for it.
Yes.
At that point, I was in that moment.
Yes. I thought I had one the other day, but it was a scratch. I was like, damn it. So, Maggie, were you already working out, or did Alex get you into all this?
Well, I have a very athletic background as well. I played softball and basketball as short as I am, my whole entire basically life since middle school, and I was a gymnast since about the age of 6 till about I was 16. So yeah, Alex definitely got me into the weightlifting. Basically, what Alex Coleman did to him, he did to me. He said, "Babe, you can do this, and you can actually." You can get a pro card. You can be great in figures. So he started training me, and after coming back from the camp, I decided it was something I wanted to try and do. And yeah, definitely he's the one behind pushing me to do the weight training thing.
So when did you turn pro, Maggie? What show?
I turned pro at the Junior Nationals in 2012 in Chicago.
So you were pro first.
Yeah, I got my pro card in a year and 8 months.
Okay, wow.
I did 3 shows and I got it. I beat him to it.
It does tend to happen a little quicker for the women in the sport.
Yeah.
But, you were no slouch. You won it in 2013, Alex. You were the light heavyweight champion, and this little tiny guy named Akeem Williams won the overall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like 280 or something. I want to take a chance to clear up. There's always been a rumor that you were in some terrible motorcycle accident, Alex, and that's why your head tilts a little bit to the side on stage sometimes. What's the real reason? You don't have some real spinal injury or anything, right?
No, I don't have any of that. We actually, doctors suggest that look for the old pictures to see what exactly that happened, because it could be any of the trauma that I had when I was doing every sport that I was doing. So it told me, if you remember when you have a trauma, and then the pictures you can connect and then see. So we tried to figure it out. By 1993 or 94, I was doing a bicycle motocross. A BMX to be clear. And I remember people started doing backflips and stuff like that. So I did a backflip and then hit the floor. I broke my collarbone and the head and stuff like that. And I started working and I probably thought that it was the hit in my head because I broke my skull, and I was doing that with no helmet. But it was my doctor says that I have a nerve in my eye that is not function. So the active nerves are moving my eye to places, and doesn't have a balance. So what happened when I put my head straight, my eye actually move, right? But if I turn this way, I can focus and I put it together, right?
Okay.
This is my brain working that way, because the doctor says that 99% of people just have crazy eyes.
Yeah.
Your
eyes look pretty. They don't look crazy to me.
Option for a crazy eye, I turn my head.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If he doesn't, I tried. I've tried on socials. It's very difficult to reach everyone, but I've always tried to respond to the people that there's some people that are kind of making this like a fun thing, like, oh, the guy with the head tilt.
Well,
things like that. He does not have a condition. He's not the guy with the head tilt, and there's nothing wrong with the neck. It's just the eye. He focuses it that way. His body has just developed this superpower to where if he just tilts it, then he doesn't have crazy eyes. So the eye is not, going in another direction.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I thought you had broken your neck or something. Honestly, I didn't know. No, I mean, I thought it was something like you broke your back or your neck. That's
Yeah,
That would
thank
have
God.
made, that would have made sense. Yeah, I'm glad that wasn't the case. So let's get into your pro career, Alex. You've had a pretty good career as a 212. You only had one show the first time you competed as a pro where you didn't do well, but after that, it was up, up, up. So you've got 4 wins already as a 212. You won the Texas Pro in 2015. 2016, you had 2 wins. You won Puerto Rico Pro, Toronto Pro, and just last year you won the Dallas Europa. So, you were doing very, very well. And you've been in the Olympia top 10 twice. You were 8th place at the Olympia, which is, the 212 Olympia is no joke. These, you had Flex Lewis, you had Jose, you have some stacked talent up there. So you're on the rise as a 212. You were definitely getting better and better placings. Why would you not want to stay in the 212 division when you're getting better and better all the time?
Well, it was a hard decision, Ron. You're in love, and when you're not only in love, you have set a goal. And when you set a goal, you don't look to the size, and you're so focused in it. And that was my state. But you can ignore signals and things that are in your favor, which at this moment was actually hurting me, right? Which, and I mean, is my structure, right? The majority of the guys in the front of me have that body almost the same. They have the same. When you get to my position 8, I'm completely different than the entire lineup. Maybe if they can recognize and give me that and ignore everybody else that look excellent. But my figure is completely different. And in some instances, I'm look even smaller than the guys, but the condition and the form that I have,
shape,
right?
Yeah, your shape.
I can battle with these guys.
Yeah.
But it's a battle where I ought now to get past that. I have to put more weight on myself and probably lose that tools that I'm using now to beat those guys.
Right.
So it was very confusing. One point was that, and it's good at this point, right? Let me explain. When we did that last year, Olympia, we placed 8, which is really good. Most people don't understand that. Only people that really understand the sport know how hard is that, right? Yeah. Especially when you had the weight of a classic physique. Okay?
Yeah, you were 190, right?
16 pounds under the weight limit is
wow, okay.
So I weighed 193 pounds on stage in Olympia. Okay?
Yeah.
So I placed 8 and I see the guys behind me and see the guys in front of me. It was like, I'm competing you with like
being out muscle
behind, But if you make the transition, I would not worry about anything. Just to bring my best, which I've been doing in every Olympia, I think, and it's proof. I can bring my best, and I can battle anybody in the classic physique. And I'm not saying that with arrogance. Those guys are really, really good. I love their bodies. But we're talking about classic look. Yeah. I don't think most of those guys can, beat my structure.
Well,
Ron, he was in the 212, and it was a great run, and we really enjoyed it. And Alex really never got like horrible, terrible critiques about being in the division. It was just like, look, you have to grow into the division a little bit more. You have to grow your legs. You have to get thicker here. You have to get thicker there. And that's not something I think that we were willing to do because of he was strictly winning on shape. I mean, they couldn't deny that part. And when the division, the classic division, came up, we spoke about it, but it's what he mentioned at the beginning. You kind of don't want to give up at what you're in. You went into the 212. You want to be the best at what you got into, but we could no longer look away from the fact that, look, you're already, your muscle bellies, your lines, you are a throwback classical, beautiful physique that all we have to do is a little thing here and there and you're ready to go. And Neil Hill is his coach.
Yeah.
And when we had a meeting with him right after this last Olympia in 2018, we didn't even have to finish the sentence. It was like, you know, absolutely. And it's what he's been preparing for since then. And you know, at the Pittsburgh Pro is a great result of what he can bring on there and succeed.
Did you guys like the division when it first came out? Was it something you were thinking about maybe switching to even then, or did it take a couple years for you to really start thinking Classic Physique's pretty damn great? I think maybe I could do pretty well in that. So has this been going on for a while, this thought process?
We liked it, right? We liked it.
No, but it wasn't in consideration, really.
Not in his mind. He didn't want it.
That exactly started in the Olympia when I was on stage. And because of the way that I had, and then when I started posing, I threw like two, three classic poses, and Sean Reid and
Don Solomon.
They were starting commentating about, oh, this guy should go into classic. I mean, he's already there. It's like, you know. So after that, people started sending me message and talking to me around, say, dude, you look absolutely great for classic. You should do in classic, right? Yeah. So I couldn't ignore it. I mentioned to Neil, and Neil told me, look, I won't even tell you before, because I don't want you to think that you cannot do well in the 12 because I'm your coach and then you're winning. How I gonna handle that? Right. But now that you mentioned that, I think you can be Mr. Classic Physique Olympia. Yeah. If you get into that class and we nail it, the way that we look at the Olympia with the 212. Yeah. You can do it. So we talk about it. We check. Make the resources, yes.
That is, you know, the ultimate goal. I mean, by no means take this as an arrogant comment. Oh, you know, the ultimate goal and the reason why we're in this as a couple, and we've been in it for so many years. And you, as a bodybuilder, you know the struggles it entails, and the sacrifices. So
no one can get offended if you're open to one who's pursuing the championship.
Yes.
If you're not looking for that at the Olympia stage, you have nothing to do there, brother. Get out of here. Just get your experience and take pictures. Because, you know, I'm not really good, and I'm trying to work on my social media, by the way, because I'm not very good. I'm doing my thing, okay? And that's what I'm going over there. Nobody can get offended. I know everybody was looking for it, and you can be sure that I'm going for the prize, the title.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, why would you train your ass off, diet, suffer? Why would you work so hard to think, well, I'm just going to stand around on the side of the stage and look at the other guys? Of course, you train to win. If in your head you don't think you can win, you're not even going to train and diet to the best of your ability. You can't.
Exactly.
So anyone that thinks it's arrogant has no understanding.
No. Exactly.
Now, Neil Hill, this has got to be an interesting story. How did you end up working with the guy that's been Flex Lewis's coach for life? He's worked with Bonac most recently, Big Ramy now. So how did you get hooked up with Neil Yoda Hill?
We went to the Olympia 2016, right? And we met Flex. Flex actually came to me and told me, hey, go to my gym and train. Let's go get together, right? So I contacted him. I came a couple of times, right? And then time passed, and I was working with other coach, and things went well. With I started losing my conditions, and I started looking like pretty bad. So lose confidence. My body wasn't responding. I was looking terrible, looking very terrible. And so when we went to the New York Pro, I was weighing 189 pounds to the New York Pro. Yeah. And I was eating tilapia. So I was flat as hell. I played fifth, right? Yeah.
You look good. I was there.
At the point that I was, and the guys that beat me, and I was about to fight for the for the thing. Yeah. And I was out of the top 3. Okay. So I was looking back. And I played second the next show, Well, actually, after the last show, when I was terrible.
Yeah.
That's where Flex stepped
Yeah,
in.
I went to Flex gym, and I started training with Flex. And Flex told me that, mate, just be very honest with me. Tell me how I look. And look at Flex is one of the he's had good freaking heart.
Yeah.
So it's hard for tell you. I mean, he have to tell you something. It's gonna tell you, but he love you. It's really hard that, right?
Yeah, he doesn't want to hurt your feelings.
Don't want it to tell me, like, you know, that just be fucking, you know.
So what do you say?
You can't tell him he looked like absolute crap at that moment. And
So in a perfect way that, you know, he started talking to me like, you look like shit.
Oh,
Yeah, you
geez.
really look like shit. Come on, let's just pose and let's look like shit and make it a difference. Starting, you know, changing my mindset.
Yeah.
Let's work at it. Let's work. You know, I post a lot of times, and then she told me you should be considering working with Neil. Let's talk to Neil and get together. Neil came to the gym, looking at me, and just see my body. It was like, okay, you need to eat. You know, you need to eat, and let's see, because it was a bad moment. I was like, fix this thing to Neil. You know, go fix this thing. And
we were actually just coming off of New York, and clearly, you know, New York is a show early on in the year in May, and there was a calendar that we had already planned out to continue competing, and Alex just wasn't in a good place physically.
Right.
And that was Neil's comment. You need to eat, and we will see if we take on this challenge, if you're going to compete with the calendar that you already have planned. So
we did the New York, we did Chicago, we
Chicago
played
was
second.
the first one with Neil.
Okay.
And then we went to Vancouver. It was the worst in the 4 years. I played 7.
Oh, okay.
Well, I played 7.
Yeah.
So it was terrible. I went back, and Neil told me, if you qualify for Olympia, we
We
qualified.
qualified.
Yeah.
But you look terrible. You're going to look even worse
I think
when you
yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
And representing what you're trying to accomplish, you just go and show what is left.
Yeah, he said you're not going.
You know, so you're not going. Like, it was not even a discussion. I was talking like it was a discussion.
Yeah.
No, he told me, no, you're not going.
You're not going.
So like, okay.
Saved you a lot of money.
Yeah, it was very difficult. It was a rough time for Alex when the reality sank in that he really wasn't going. It was not his choice.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't know if you saw the De La Rosa interview I did a couple weeks ago, but he said the first thing Neil Hill told him when he started working with was that you need to eat. You're eating like a bikini girl. So Neil must be big on feeding people, giving people more food. Alex, I want to go back to the classic switch. You know, I know that there's different trunks and you don't get to hit all the poses, but other than that, was it really a difficult transition for you, or were you always basically, you know, I call it, it's all bodybuilding to me. Classic Physique, it's body, as far as I'm concerned, it's bodybuilding. It's the same. It's posing, it's the trunks. I still don't like the trunks. They're a little better now, but they're still jacked up as far as I'm concerned. You know, but was it difficult for you at all trying to make that transition? You know, did you want to hit, you know, rear lat spreads and most musculars and front lat spreads and you can't?
Not really. I mean, if you think so, yes, because when you're trying to get big, your mental connection with your body is trying to do that. It's more aggressive way, right? But when you go to classic and you train to your body and you work for your body to look some way with a more aesthetic and pleasure look, you cannot tend to pose the same way as your body looks. You know, and actually it's ugly if you see a big Rami trying to pose like a classic physique. It have to be terrible. Yeah. Now, if you're trying to look, for example, I threw my much muscular like that. Yeah. Flex doesn't like it. Flex says that doesn't look to anybody. There's so few guys that can look good on that.
The crab.
So he's like, this is your pose, you know? And then if we're trying to grab some muscle when you're doing that, you know, but if you train for that, the connection is there. Even if you don't have the muscle, you just, and you feel it. if you train for someone, your mental, every connection is like for placing in flow like that, your body just acts like natural, and so it's not really hard.
So, did you have a rough time deciding which was going to be your favorite classic pose?
I really don't. No. I think I don't have one yet. I just
You have to have one. They tell you your favorite classic pose. So what do you do?
He threw up, the straight arm, then he threw off the side.
Huh?
He's pretty comfortable with multiples. We just haven't found that specific one. Maybe you'll see it at the New York Pro.
Okay. It's funny. If you look at your timeline on Facebook, you'll see foreshadowings that you were going to switch to classic. Because I threw up one. They'll throw it up at some point during this, but you did like one of the archer pose from the back, like one bicep and one arm up, and you said throwing it back to the classic mode or something. So the clues were there. The clues were there.
Yeah.
I want to talk about you guys' business ventures, because you guys are also contest promoters. You put on a very big show. It's happening again. The Latin American Championships in Costa Rica. It's going to happen this year, October 11th through 12th. It's a huge amateur show, and it's a pro qualifier. Do you also have a pro part of it too, or no? Or is it all amateur?
It's in Costa Rica. This is our second year.
Yeah.
We have 7 pro cards in the division. So all overall winners in each class will acquire their pro status. So we have all the divisions, and this year we switched over from fitness. We added the women's bodybuilding. We want to give those girls out there also the opportunity to come out and gain their pro status in the Latin American side. So there's 7 pro cards: bodybuilding, men's physique, classic, figure, bikini, women's bodybuilding. Did I miss one? Yeah, I think that's it.
So this looks like it was a big event, and it's going to be another big event. So how hard? It's got to be a lot of work to put on something, especially where you guys live in Miami. And where was this, San Jose, or where was it, the capital?
Yes, it was in San Jose, Costa Rica. Alex is really the only one here residing from Costa Rica. So we do have a very big support system with our family over there.
Yeah.
His brother, his sisters, his mom, everyone is extremely, extremely unconditional with us, and they pull a lot of the weight over there in helping us.
I was going to say.
A close friend of ours that also does a lot of running around.
Yeah.
And then the other stuff I do here online, all the social media, the registration,
the website,
and that part. We arrive a little early just to set some things up, but it's pretty much how you would do it here. You rent a venue and everything that comes with it.
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of help over there, so it does help us a lot.
What are some things that you learned from the first big promotion that you're going to use to make the second one better?
I think we were affected this year. Not affected. The show was very positive. We had 200 plus entries. It was mainly the fear that the competitors had from being able to come over into the IFBB and compete, and some sort of either abandon their federations or turn their back on their federations. Because there's a lot of banning going on. There was a lot of negative talks about if you go compete with them, then you can come back. So a lot of the actual locals were a little fearful of competing. I think that's kind of settled now with how the IFBB International has expanded, with about 60 pro qualifiers, throughout the world. So they've kind of lost it. That was really our challenge. Besides that, I think with the promotion that the NPC and the IFBB have done, Robin and Jim Mannion have done an exceptional job at being able to spread the word and give us the information to give the athletes, and it's pretty much kind of just on autopilot set itself, so that the athletes just know that the show is there and you show up and you do it. So I don't think there's much for us to do except promoting and offering that pro status to the athletes that haven't really had an opportunity in so long.
Yeah, the hardest part is schooling these people that how things change and the banning is not affecting you. I mean, if you don't ban, you're still competing with this federation. Sure. I mean, so it's not that you're not gonna be able to compete in any competition or something. Yeah. And then they realize that you have the right to do whatever you want if you're amateur.
The same situation happened with that show, the Coat of Arms of the Dominican Republic, that Victor Victor
Yes.
Martinez and John De La Rosa, they went through the same exact thing you guys went through, but they say it's already, they're talking to people, and now the athletes understand a lot more better than they did last year. So they're not going to be as afraid like they were last time. They realize that these guys were just playing games and being ridiculous and trying to scare them. But anyway, your show's doing great. It's going to do better the second time. Is there a website for it, or how do people find out more about the Latin American Championships?
Yeah, it's www.latinamericanchampionships.com, and everything is, we have, the registrations, everything is on there. We have all the categories detailed, all the stuff about, being able to actually get a pro card.
Yeah.
So all the info is on the website. Anyone can go on there. It's latinamericanchampionships.com.
Good thing you got that name. That's a pretty easy one to remember. But,
Yeah.
So tell me about your business. You guys own a business together, Pro Level Fitness in Miami?
Yeah, it's a personal training studio we have in the South Miami area here in Florida. It's a private facility. Alex and I do one-on-one work, private with our clients. We do some contest prep and posing for the local athletes in our area. That's basically what we do there.
Yeah.
We mostly have the athletes, Maggie, and had athletes online, coaching, like that. But in our business, we have relations with people that have been with us for many years, and they're not athletes. They're not like going back, that kind of client. So it's very easy and honest stress. We have about 10 clients that train with us the entire year. And
not much competitors.
VIP clients. So.
VIP clients.
Competitors, I don't want to make it sound bad, but a lot, people that compete don't have a lot of money. So I would say that if I was a trainer, I'm not going to train bodybuilders because they're broke. I would train people who are
too much expenses.
Alex doesn't have any bodybuilding clients. He has just regular people that are after it for health and fitness.
Yeah, and I mean, you're in a great spot because South Beach, everyone wants to look good in South Beach, Miami.
Yeah,
we're very close to Brickell, the beach. We're in a very, very, very central area off of, it's South Miami Pinecrest area.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but I'll take your word for it. I should ask Maggie because I'm ignorant. I don't follow the women's sport. Do you still compete, or are you all done?
No, I'm all done. My last year competing was in 2016.
Okay.
I had a really good run. I came in top 5 in a couple shows at the Chicago Pro and at the Miami Pro, and then I just decided it was time for me to focus on the business, focus on promoting the Latin American Championships, which is, basically a full-time job for me, the gym, and then being able to, you kind of got to know when it's time to shut it down. I love figure and I enjoyed it so much, but it was time for me to focus on Alex and manage him and try to, focus on, I felt that out of the two of us, he had the most potential to attain a title and be number one, and that's what we should focus on. So
What did you guys prep for shows at the same time before?
We did a few. We did Tampa Pro together. I think we did about
San Antonio.
San Antonio, where he won and I came in 5th. That was my first top 5 as a figure pro. It wasn't hard for us to prep together. We managed it well. We don't have children, so it was.
That would have been the thing. Tell me, because you take care of the kid. You take care of the kid.
Exactly.
I'm tired. You do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, we went through a lot of that, But so I guess the question is, Alex, you qualified for Olympia already. So is this it? You get to take a little rest now and then start your Olympia prep in a few weeks?
No, we actually getting ready for New York.
Well, that's right. You posted that. I should remember that. Well, thank God, because now I get to see you. I didn't go to Pittsburgh, but I'll be in New York.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Very
Great.
nice, bro.
So why New York if you already won a show? Just because New York Pro is a great show, as you know. You've been there, but is that why you're doing it? Because it's a really cool show.
It's a really cool show. Yes, I mean, I have the opportunity to do it because I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it going for 2 more weeks, we spoke with Neil, and that might be cement or people how they see me as a threat, not as lucky or no. I want to cement or clear. I'm not guarantee anything. I don't like to play that game, but. I can do very well, so I have the opportunity, and I want to experience the New York Pro. It's a cool show.
And that title, assuming you win that, you do have it makes you more of a legitimate threat for Olympia, because you win one of these other shows. There's a lot of guys who were in that Olympia stage at the Classic Olympia who won shows that they didn't do well because they were smaller shows, and
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't want to say they got lucky, because they all work. Everybody works hard. It's not luck. But it all depends on who you stand next to that day of the show. And you're going to have some good competition in New York. So if you win New York, people are going to say, wow, this guy's the real deal. This guy's going to push Bumstead and Breon and George and Henri and these guys. He deserves to be up there with those top guys. So
that's the intention. Yes.
Yeah, smart choice. Now that I think about it, good move. Well, I've taken up enough of your guys' time. I appreciate it so much, Alex, Alejandro, Feo, Maggie. Appreciate you guys taking the time and talking to us.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it, really. Thank you very much.
I wore the MD Latino shirt because you have been on the cover of MD Latino a couple times, I believe.
Yes.
Shout out to Kit Sanderson.
Kit Sanderson's actually going to be at our place on Saturday. He's going to go ahead and do some video shoot and some workout videos and stuff with Alex. So that's Kit has been very supportive of us since Alex started bodybuilding. So it's great. We're very thankful for you guys, for having us on, and especially with you and knowing you for so many years and giving us the opportunity to be on. It's great. We're thrilled.
I hope we're doing one more interview in, 11 days? 12 days? 12 days?
Yeah, about 11 days.
11 days. I want to be interviewing you after your win, Classic Physique at the New York Pro. That's going to be a cool interview.
Yes, let's hope.
You'll have the medal, you'll have the trophy, you'll be crying, it'll be awesome. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys so much. Everyone, I want you to check out his Instagram. It is FELLO, Feo, FELLO _Cambronero, CAMBRONERO. And we got to get those numbers up. We got to get your social media game stronger.
Yes.
This guy deserves a lot of followers, more followers. So let's go. Let's get going, guys. Everybody, thank you so much for watching the Ronline Report. You can check out this guy, Alex Cambronero, very soon at the New York Pro on stage in Classic Physique. Wishing him the best of luck. Thanks for watching.